Hi everyone, welcome to Chats with Moi. I am Jadaquit, the founder of Adulting with Moi, and tonight I have a special guest, Shania Wilson. She will introduce herself soon, but basically on Chats with Moi, today's topic is all about taxes. So I was blessed to find Shania Wilson to be able to talk about taxes and answer all the questions you guys all submitted. So stay tuned. Your questions will be answered in a few minutes. Take it away, Shania.
Hi, guys. So as she introduced, my name is Shania Wilson. I'm currently a CPA working for PricewaterhouseCoopers. I also have my own tax business called Full Life Financial, which is an African name which symbolizes wealth and honor, where I prepare tax returns. So I am kind of a good tax guru for you guys to ask your questions to.
Yes! Thank you so much for, first of all, agreeing to do this. As you know, we have technical difficulties to get here, but we're here. And shout out to your entrepreneurial business. That's amazing. I'll definitely throw all your information under below in this video, okay? All right, so let's just get started and dive right into the questions. Majority of questions kind of are general, and they stem from really a generic base of like, hey, how do I file my taxes? You know, so we're just going to start with that, okay? Someone asks, should I prepare my taxes myself or use a service? As in like TurboTax, or I'm not sure, there's a multitude of services out there, I'm sure you know, but how would you answer that?
Okay, so in terms of tax preparation, it all depends on the complexity of your return. So a lot of people who are young millennials like ourselves, we have basic W-2s and we may have some investment income. So for those type of situations, it is okay to prepare yourself, but make sure you're always looking out to get tax advice. When your tax situation becomes more complex, when you start having interest and dividends and you own a house, you start to have kids, you buy a car, you make other big purchases. That's when your situation becomes more complex, and that's a good time to go and find an accountant.
Oh, okay. So that's good to know because I bought a car and I never done taxes. So I'm like, maybe I should find an accountant. Okay. So, the next question that leads into that, actually, because you said that, some people are saying, you know, what are some good resources for people to use who can't afford an accountant? Because that comes with a cost. Some people can't afford that. So I'm asking for myself as well. What are some good resources you think we should go to or use?
Okay, so in terms of free resources, there are a bunch out there. The federal government definitely has their own free e-file system, and as well as every state, if your state e-files. If you go to your federal IRS.com website, you can find where to file your taxes online for free, and then you'll have to prepare your state return separately by filing that through your state. It's a really easy online process. You have to make a type of account to do it, but they are free. But there are also softwares that say that they're free, but then they charge you. So I would say definitely keep a lookout for that too, because if you want to be free, you want to be free the whole way. So.
Yeah, that's okay. Great. So thank you for that. The next question. Someone again was saying, how do I do my taxes? But they were saying, could you walk us through the steps on how to file our taxes? I know that probably can be very complex, but I'm sure this person's coming from a very generic, no kids, no big car purchases, like you're saying, very not as a complex tax profile as you were mentioning before. So if you could walk us through the steps on how to file taxes, maybe the W-2 or the W-4, what are the differences, stuff like that. That was one big question. Sorry.
Okay, so starting from the beginning, when you enroll at your job, when you onboard, so to say, you fill out W-4. And what your W-4 does is set up your tax situation for the whole year. So you fill out the amount of exemptions you're going to claim and any allowances if you want to add any of those. What an exemption is, it is basically to calculate the amount of tax that you're going to have to owe to the federal government in your state. So the more exemptions you have, the less taxes you're going to have to pay in. The less you have, the more you're going to have to pay in, unfortunately. That's our situation. So your W-4 basically sets the tone for your tax year. But then after you work for a year, you receive a W-2. What your W-2 does is show your pay for the total year, shows how much taxes you paid in, any other withholdings, and that is what is going to be used to populate the information for your refund. So in terms of doing a refund, for the federal government, the basic form is a 1040. And on your 1040, report all your income. If you're eligible for any credits, that falls in your 1040. If you're eligible for any special deductions, that falls on your 1040. And then they calculate your taxable income based on your situation and your tax that they calculate by the amount you make, like per tax bracket.
Well, that's good. And thank you for that. I think you also already went over the difference between a W-2 and a W-4, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Let me go to the next question. Oh, this one is a particular instance. Excuse me. If you work from home, but the company is based in a different state, do you have to pay taxes twice for both states? Let me know if you need me to clarify that anymore, but, let me know.
Okay. So basically, taxes are due from the area of which you are physically. So if I live in New York and I have a client in Philadelphia, I'm going to pay taxes for Philadelphia for those hours that I worked in that state. So in your case, you're only liable to pay the taxes where you currently are, where you perform the work, basically. Think about it like that. So it's like if you didn't work in New York, you're good. If you work in Philly, owe Philly some taxes.
The next question comes from, I'm sorry, I'm not saying names because I want to give people private. But basically, this one is a good one. Actually, this came up a lot. I'm sorry. This one is, how will the recent tax break affect this year and next year's tax season? As you're aware, that changed this past year, beginning of the year. And basically, people are wondering, what should we implement this year or next year to offset the new changes? Because it's affecting a lot of people, obviously. And this is from a millennial's perspective. So, again, basic case, no home, no car, stuff like that. So, if you want to think in that aspect, that granular term, then sure.
Okay. So, basically, though we don't agree with a lot of things that our president has done, honestly, the tax code is the best thing that he have done thus far, honestly. So basically, yes. Basically, he's lowering the tax percentage for everybody. But
for everybody.
Everybody.
Okay. Because you know. Want to make sure.
Right, we're all included. Don't worry.
Okay, as long as you understand.
So basically, his plan is to double the standard deduction, which is gonna again decrease your taxable income, so you'll be liable to pay less than taxes. It's gonna increase certain credits are gonna be increased in the amount. Certain like the child tax credit, certain school credits are gonna be increased. Some credits will be taken away. But hopefully with the benefits, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. In terms of like when you're gonna see things like start to go in effect, our paychecks will start to change by the end of this month, which is a good thing though. We'll be paying less in taxes from our paychecks, so it's a good thing.
Okay, so to break it down, because I mean, whenever you say my check's gonna change, I get a little worried. I'm like, hold up. So let me break it down for my people that may have the same question. So my check, whatever it is right now, has been going off of the old tax bill. Now that there's a new tax bill, you're saying that with the new policy, we're paying less in taxes. So
that's exactly what's going to happen because
okay, that's good.
Exactly. So
long story short, guys, it's less money coming for your paycheck.
We'll be seeing more money in our paycheck. So I was saying, going forward, people who are going to benefit the most from this tax break are the people who are on the higher end of the wealth spectrum.
Yes.
Because they get to take advantage of like certain tax breaks that us as middle class earners won't be able to take advantage of because we just don't qualify for them just yet. So yeah, I guess the goal would be to create more wealth so that we can all benefit, because it's there. We just have to go out and make it work in our favor.
Okay, cool. Well, that's awesome. Thank you for that, because that was actually one of my questions too. For people like me that are first time filers, they were just saying, what a good advice would you give for first time filers? Like I said, you said, if it's not complex, you don't have to really get an accountant. You could probably just use a free service on federal government, the IRS site. So that's a good advice. But I was wondering if you have any other tools of, jewels of advice if you would like to give us. A lot of people hear TurboTax, so that was a big prevalent question. like, do you trust it? Do you like it? So yeah.
Okay. To begin with, the first piece of advice, which is the biggest one, would be to make sure you have all of your documentation and your papers in order. I've been doing taxes for like 5-6 years now throughout my college career and like as a professional.
Having your documents.
And the biggest headache is when people don't come with all their information, because once we send the return to the IRS, it's like it's already there. We can always amend it, but once you amend the return, it's at high risk for an audit. You do not want the IRS knocking on your door if you don't. So, important to have your stuff right the first time. So that's a very important thing.
What would be the documents that people need, or is that specific on a case by case scenario?
Okay, so the most common documentation that we receive is the W-2, number one. A lot of people may have 1099s if they're self-employed, if they're contractors. You may get a 1098-T if you were in school. You may also get a 1098-E so a 1099 is usually issued when you're self-employed or if you're like a contractor for someone else. Also, when you have a business, sometimes you can report your income on a 1099 as well. And then we have a Form 1098, and that is usually for education. So if you pay student loans throughout the year, you can definitely deduct that in your tax return, which is a good thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, what number is that?
That's a 1098.
Because I just started paying my grace period up. Okay, cool. Well, I mean, honestly, we went through all the questions. Basically, I kind of try to, as you know, I summarized them to like 6 to put them all together. But hopefully, everyone that asks these questions will see this and they will get the insight. I just want to, first of all, thank you for this. Even though we had technical difficulties, I really appreciate you taking the time to join Chats with Moi. This is very helpful and insightful. And like I said, I'm going to put your information down below and maybe across the screen somehow, some way. And basically, so people could also ask you, because you also have a business. And I would love to support you in that, okay?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay.